Hey guys, and welcome to my in the bag, on the bag. You'll find out why it's on the bag once I take all the discs out. We're gonna start with my putters. I've got all EV7s, so these are my two main putters. This one, Dr. Pepper, drawn by me, but this one's a 5 and firm, so that's my main putter. As y'all have seen in my previous videos, the Yangs, 10 out of 10. Best approach putter I've ever thrown. But this one is a little beat up, if you can tell. But she's really nice. She flies very straight. So this one's my main backhand one. This one's a little more overstable. So I tend to throw it when I'm a little bit further away, so probably like 200, because it's a little more reliable for further distances. And I also use this one for forehand up shots. Again, this one's neutral, so I use my Yang for like, I'd say 90% of my up shots, but the Yin is really nice for like if I want to put it on an angle and just hold the angle. But yeah, really nice. And then last for the putters, I've got a Penrose. This is my dog. Rest in peace, Oreo. Love her. Anyways, Penrose is a good disc. Next, we've got my mid-ranges. I have 4 mid-ranges in here. Well, actually, one of them is technically a putter. This one is an approach putter, finish line chicane. It's kind of like a zone. It's overstable, but really nice. I'm still working this one into my bag, but haven't had to use it too much in tournament, but I'm sure I will, because it's a good disc. Next, my favorite die. This one is a Supra. Supra is finish line, mid-range, and it's kind of like Flippy Buzz, but it's really good for holding angles, and like if I want to do like a hyzer flip and then keep it turning, really nice. But yeah, definitely my favorite die that I've gotten from CJ, Dojo Disc Designs. Next, we have a Wasp. This one's nice and overstable. It's like a flat to overstable, so it doesn't like push left, but it always has a reliable finish. Thrown this for many years, so it's always been good to me. And last for the mid-ranges, and probably my favorite, is the Finish Line Sector. This came out the end of last year, and I think they're just now getting them out, so definitely check them out and get you some, because these are amazing. It's very flat, and it's got, I can put a little bit on it and I'll just like flip to flat and then kind of carry with a little bit of finish. But yeah, I don't know, it has been working wonders for me, so love that one. And moving on to the fairways. This one I definitely have a lot of fairways, but since I first started, I have always been throwing Stalkers, and these things are like my favorite. I love these so much. I have like a kind of disc that I like the Stalker and the Supra. I feel like fly very similar, but it's just like moved up in speed. So it's like this one obviously goes further because it's fairway, but it's got that nice like flip up to it, and I can also shape it a little bit if I want to. But yeah, these have always been good. Also, all of my dies are by CJ, and I love them both. Love them all. They're so good. Dojo Disc Designs. Make sure you check them out. You get some cool stuff like this. Next, we have my Finish Line Rallies. I had Chick-fil-A. I love this one. I've been throwing this one a lot last year, so it kind of beat in really well. And so now it kind of flies flat, but it's more stable than the Stalkers, which is really nice. And then this one, I haven't been throwing it too much, So it's more overstable than this one. But that's why I've got two of them, because they're a little bit different stabilities. This one's a lot more overstable than this. So it gives me a little variety and it's good for the wind. Next in the fairways, I've got two pipelines, but same with those. One is more stable and one is a little flippier. So got this one from Jake Mon, Colradolin pipeline. It's nice and flippy. I always put it on a hyzer flip and then it'll flex out a little bit. Very nice. These feel great in the hand too. So yeah, very similar flight to, pipelines have a similar flight to my stalkers, and like that kind of flips flat. But this one's nice and flippy. And then got this one from Ellie, my Eliezer pipeline. This one is much more stable than the other pipeline, but it's really nice in the wind, and it's good for if I want something to just carry a hyzer. I feel like it does that pretty well. But yeah, good discs, and they go really far. Next in the fairways, got Finish Line Era. These were one of the first ones that came out. They're so nice, and I find, so like I've got my two pipelines. One's like here in stability, and then one's here in stability. So there's like a really flippy one, and then a stable one. This one's like right in the middle for me. So it's like, it can get a little bit of flex if I really pop it out there. But it's got a reliable comeback. So yeah. Era. Next, we've got a Heat, Dr. Pepper. But this one is flippy, so I can use it for like, if I don't want it to go as far as the pipeline, just pop it and it'll carry. Or if I just do an anhyzer shot, it'll carry. It's really nice, and I love the dye, so that's that. And then, I think, last in the fairways, yeah, my last fairway is a Torque Finish Line. It's a little Rapunzel dye. But this one is overstable. So very, very reliable, very good in the wind. It's got a good skip on it too. So this one, I don't throw it too much. It's more of like a, if I need the shot, but I'm sure I will use it a lot this year. And now for my drivers. I have started throwing more fairways than drivers, just because I feel like I have more control with my fairways. But we've got my Thrasher. These are nice and flippy. They've been getting a lot more flippy on me recently, but it's been nice because I used to use them solely for driving, like they were my main driver, but now they're flippy, so they're great for like tight wooded shots and anything that I need to curve this way and hold. They're really nice, so they go pretty far. Next is Scorch. I love me a good Scorch. These are really nice and they go really far. I have been throwing them a little bit less though, because it's just like, I feel like sometimes if I don't get the right angle on them, they can flip too much, but they're still really nice, and I love them. So yeah, that's something I go with. Next is the Interval Finish Line. This one is a really nice flying disc. It's got a consistent comeback finish, that's the word, a nice finish to it. I can just put it on a little bit of angle and it'll carry a little bit and then carry back. So it's really nice. Yeah, feels great too. Next we've got a Finish Line Daytona. This one's nice and stable. Reliable stability, it's good for the wind. That's also another thing, that the Interval is good for the wind. But yeah, so solid disc there. But now we're gonna get into on the bag, which is the part that I'm excited for. So I have had this bag for the past 3 years. She's been with me through a lot. But this year, I kind of wanted to take this one on tour just because it's a little bit smaller, more compact, easier to carry, easier for me on my back. So I wanted to flare it up a little bit and make it more personal. So I painted it. Okay, so first, for on the bag, I'm just gonna start with some of the patches. I've got Grip, obviously, my lovely Grip bag. I love them. Foundation Disc Golf, woo! Team Finish Line, and Power On. I really love this one because it's the exit sign, so I think it's really cool. And then we've got a bunch of keychains and all this stuff. So yeah. And then next, into my son. If you couldn't tell, I really love Rapunzel. And yeah, so this is like our little Rapunzel inspired one. And then we've got my birthday month is July. So Larkspur is the July month flower. And I also love purple, which is perfect. So I made a field, or I painted a field of larkspurs on this side. And on the other side, I painted a bouquet because I love flowers. And then my favorite part, the back. We've got my favorite verse, John 15:5. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you dwell in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. But apart from me, you are nothing. So, I think that's a good verse to take into the year because I want to keep my focus on God and keep it to where I am sharing His love and everything that I do, I cannot do without God. So, yeah, just a good reminder on my bag. We've got all the lines and everything everywhere. So, yep. But that is my in the bag, on the bag for my 2025 rookie year season. Subject to change. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and see you on the next one. Happy Valentine's Day!